My name is Diedrich Knickerbocker. As an authority of the Hudson Valley River, I can provide a veracious chronicle of the Headless Horseman of Sleepy Hollow. This area was first explored by Hendrik Hudson and soon sprouted a thriving Dutch colony. After battles with Indians and the French and the American Revolution, the locale had just settled down, as our tale opens in the year 1789. Sleepy Hollow was a sequestered glen of small farms anchored by houses topped by high ridged roofs, with spinning wheels humming within the doors. A drowsy, dreamy influence provides the very atmosphere, hence the name Sleepy Hollow. It abounds with bizarre tales and twilight superstitions. The nightmare makes this rural enclave a favorite scene of the midnight gambles. But the dominant spirit that haunts this enchanted region is the apparition of a figure on horseback without a head. Back in 1776, the Battle of Shatron Hill was fought just 6 miles hence. There, American forces struggled fiercely against King George's ruthless Hessian cavalry. And in a fateful charge, one of the Hessian soldiers' heads was carried away by a cannonball. Since then, this ghostly spirit has been rushing through the gloom of night on the wings of the wind, searching for a head to replace his own. The body of the trooper was interred at the old Dutch church burial yard. Some say the ghost must return there before daybreak. Thus, the spectre known as the Headless Horseman of Sleepy Hollow. Beside Sleepy Hollow's little dock is a tavern. There, the locale mynheers and their good fraus gossip about their spellbound region. They trade tales of haunted fields and haunted brooks and haunted bridges and haunted houses, and particularly of the Headless Horseman.
Did you hear the galloping Hessian last eve?
Hear him, mynheer. He was chasing after me, he was. His skeleton hands grabbed me by the throat, they did.
Well, did he get you or didn't he? By the looks of ya, maybe. He did.
Maybe he mistook you for the imp, that white-haired little witch.
Me? But I'm flaxen-haired.
Oh, but my good Brawl, in the moonlight.
Last night, I swear I saw a scarecrow walking through Van Fleet's cornfield. It must have come alive and climbed down off its pike.
Yeah, I seen it too. A tall demon strolling across the field like all.
That was no scarecrow, mynheer. That was the new schoolmaster, Ichabod Crane.
Schoolmaster?
Ah, a Yankee from Connecticut he is, but so thin and lank. You might mistake him for a scarecrow.
Another new schoolmaster?
Aye, and soon to be lodging. A week at a time, in all our homes.
What?
I'm against it.
No. Yeah, someone has to board him. The poor lad can't make a living on the wages we pay.
Ichabod Crane? Probably another huge feeder. The last schoolmaster had the dilating ability of an anaconda.
Anaconda?
A tropical snake, 30 foot long, mynheer. It can swallow a sheep.
What? A whole sheep?
Well, eventually, anyhow.
Oh, anaconda. So that's what I saw in me well.
In Sleepy Hollow, with so much nonsense in the air, a good education was a double necessity. Thus, the new schoolmaster Ichabod Crane brought much-needed enlightenment to the little log-built schoolhouse.
Van Balen, Van Brunt, Van Fleet, Van Hengel.
Fortunately, a nearby birch tree provided ever-ready discipline for the more unruly urchins.
Van Owen, Van Oort, Van Ripper, Van Oonen, Van Verden, Van Vaart, and Zundernom. Zondernon?
Master Crane, Zondernim means no name in Dutch.
So he answered after all, Master Crane.
Von Brunt, that is quite enough howling from you. Now, class, continuing from yesterday, during the war, British naval superiority allowed them to capture and occupy American coastal cities, but in the countryside, their advantage was far from...
Master Crane, British ships were anchored right here on the Tappan Zee.
Cecilius is right. 8 years ago, the whole valley was crawling with redcoats.
True, Dole, but the British land army was too sparse to effectively...
Unless the traitor Benedict Arnold helped him, he could have handed West Point to the British.
Yeah, and we'd all be eating crumpets today instead of donuts.
Famke, Dole, you're getting ahead of my lesson. Very well. Is there any more local history to cite? Alva?
Yeah, luckily, Benedict Arnold was discovered when Major John Andre, the British spy, was captured in our own Terrytown.
And Major Andre was hung until dead at the tulip tree just beyond the old Dutch church.
Was he now, Ulf?
Yeah, and they say he put the noose round his own neck. When they knocked a log from under his feet,
Oof, desist!
and his eyes burst, and from his drawer spewed.
Stop this moment, Ulf!
So now his ghost haunts the glen, noose still hanging round his neck.
Ulf, you forced me to employ the birch of justice.
Ha! You call that a beating, Master Crane?
I'm merely sparking your attention. You will remember this and thank me for it, Ulf.
As will you, Master Crane.
Why, you little wrong-headed Dutch!
Master Crane.
Yes, sir?
I am Brom Van Brunt, and that's my little brother you've got there.
Brom?
And his chores await.
Oh, yes, well, I was just providing a bit of discipline. Young Ulf here was with the birch of justice.
Give me that switch, Master Crane.
It's
I don't need your help, Brom. I just want... No! Brom, wait! Ow! Brom! Ow! Ow! Ow!
That is how to discipline my little brother, Master Crane.
Oh, I see.
So, now you try it. Here.
I think that little Ulf here has...
No, I insist.
Oh, well, let's see.
Ow!
Much better, Master Crane. Now, class dismissed.
Such was the nature of von Brandbrunt. Huge of limb, he possessed an undercurrent of seething intensity, as did the whole Van Brunt family. Alas, Providence would have it, Ichabod was to be lodging with the Van Brunts all this week, making for interesting dinner conversation.
More squash, Master Crane?
Thank you, Dame Van Brunt. Your hospitality is bounteous.
Master Crane, what's today's lesson?
Today, Mynheer Van Brunt, well, I suppose, spare the rod and spoil the child.
Yeah, Papa. Master Crane's students are certainly not spoiled.
What Bra means is, I seek to make them, smart.
Yeah, I'll say.
Why, Ulf, you're all black and blue.
Good, Mother. I'm sure he deserved it.
Mynheer!
Corin! Did you notice that this fish is also blackened? Again?
Pardon, dear, as a blacksmith, fire is your specialty. Cooking just isn't mine. Sometimes our fire's too hot, things burn.
Like the fish.
And the squash and the corn all burnt.
No. Your cooking, Dame Van Brunt, Van Brunt is exceedingly, well done.
What? Don't you like it?
Like Mynheer, I love it.
See, Mother? Master Crane likes it.
Danku, Master Crane. Have some more. There's always more.
Yeah, always.
Enough of. More Applejack, Master Crane.
Thank you, Mynheer. So, blacksmithing. What a fascinating profession.
Bah.
No, really. Hammering iron, pumping the bellows, shoeing horses.
That's a farrier.
Huh?
A farrier shoes horses. I'm a smith. I make axes, knives, and nails. Brum helps at the forge.
Yeah, we can make 1,000 nails a day.
That many? Brom, could you please pass the succotash?
But we do make many horseshoes, too.
Ah, yes. I've seen them hung around the doors of every house in Sleepy Hollow.
They keep the demons and evil spirits away.
But Mother, why doesn't the horseshoe over the door work at Carl's mill?
Carl's mill?
It's that old goblin-style water mill in the remote part of the hollow.
They say it's haunted.
It is, Brom. Witches meet there.
Do they? I've read in Cotton Mather's History of New England Witchcraft all about...
Well, Carl's mill is supposedly subject to awful visitations.
Ha! Visitations maybe of Brom and his squad of hard riders, dashing past the farmhouses at midnight with whoops and halloos.
Mother, last night I returned directly from visiting the Van Tassels.
Corin, don't mock the forces of darkness. These were the devil's lands once. Remnants still abide there.
Like the giant mosquito. He sails out whenever he's hungry.
Giant mosquito, Ulf?
Yeah, in the olden days, he would eat an Indian or two and pick his teeth with their ribs.
Enough, Ulf. The moon is up, so good night, Master Crane. And perchance, sweet dreams.
Oh, well, I'm not fully tired. I'm a bit of a night owl. So I think I might just go for a walk in the moonlight.
A walk? I wouldn't advise it.
Nor I. You don't know what is out there, Master Crane.
Yeah, you'll be safer in your bed, I think.
Hello? 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 Who's there? Oh, no! Who are you? What's that tied round your neck? Wait. Where are you going? Wait! Don't leave me here! You, ahead! Oh, pale and breathless form, what is that rumbling? On into that clearing? Go there? No! That phantom throng? They have large heads, but shrunken bodies. Were they once men, like me? Some horrid ritual. Is that a witch leading them? What? Their demon celebration has ended? What does that mean? They're coming. For me? No, I'm going the other way. The other way. What? You? You again? Where are you leading me? The old watermill? Carl's mill? No. The mill door, it's locked. How are you already in there? Hello? What's that? A horseshoe. Is that blood on the millstone? Bones in the vat? What trap have you led me into? I'm leaving this grisly chamber. The Headless Horseman! Merciful heaven, he's coming here! He'll behead me! The vat! Into the vat! Oh, don't come into the mill, Spectre. Please, I pray, don't. Oh. What's that? The sluice gate. Water! Water, no! Horseman, don't drown me! The water! The water, no! No! No!
Master Crane, wake up!
No.
Wake up!
No.
Wake up!
The horseman! The horseman!
Wake up! It's only a dream, Master Crane. Or only a nightmare.
What? Only a nightmare? Only.
However wide awake newcomers may have been before entering Sleepy Hollow, all too soon they inhaled the witching influence in the air and grew imaginative, dreamed dreams and saw apparitions. Ichabod's vivid encounter with the horseman was but mere terror of the night, a phantom of the mind. Fortunately, daylight puts an end to these evils. But Ichabod's path was soon crossed by a being that causes more perplexity to mortal man than ghosts, goblins, and a whole pack of demons put together. And that was a woman. Our hero was quite favoured among the country damsels. He would saunter along the banks of the mill pond with a whole bevy of them, dressed in their Dutch sunbonnets, all the while the country boys hung sheepishly back, envying his superior elegance and address.
Oh, Master Crane, you suggested this splendid pie contest, but with the ever-changeable weather, I think we'd best...
Patience, Ruse. I promised my attention to Astrid here. Now, Astrid.
Master Crane, I overheard Laura's playing cuckoo. Boast he has a poem to recite. Right, Dell?
Yeah, he fancies himself an orator. Come, Loris, do recite your poem.
Yes, Loris. Gladden our souls, good fellow.
Very well. How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail and pour the waters of the Nile on every scale? How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly spread his claws and welcome little fishes in with gently smiling jaws.
Oh, that's not a proper poem, Loris. You recited a juvenile parody of Dr. Isaac Watts' famous Against Idleness and Mischief.
I did? Oh.
Peradventure, Master Crane, do you know the correct wording of Watts's poem?
I believe I do, Miss...
Van Tassel, sir. Katrina Van Tassel.
Let's see. Against Idleness and Mischief. Dedicated to Miss Van Tassel. How doth the busy bee improve each shining hour, and gather honey all the day from every opening flower. In works of labor or of skill, I would be busy too, for Satan finds some mischief still for idle hands to do. In books or works or healthful play, let my years be passed, that I may give for every day some good account at last. Was my recitation satisfactory, Miss Van Tassel?
As likely as not. Ichabod Crane. Crane, like the bird? Well, here's my poem. Ichabod Crane, all legs or all brain?
Miss Van Tassel, did you know you have the singular ability to place your entire foot in your mouth?
Oh, do I?
But a dainty foot it is. Perchance the prettiest foot and ankle in the country round.
Oh, that! I do, Master Crane.
Distressingly, but you may call me Ichabod.
Oh, but may I call you Icky?
A damsel fair as yourself can call a man anything and prevail, can she not?
Icky, do you offer independent singing lessons for the church choir?
You mean private lessons? For a small fee, yes. Do you cantillate, Miss Van?
Master Crane! Master Crane!
Master Crane, we simply must begin the pie contest before the down board.
Yeah, are you prepared to judge my pumpkin pie fairly?
Or my apple pie?
Or my peach pie?
Oh, ladies, certainly. You'll imagine the genius of famine has descended upon the earth. Miss Van Tassel, have you an entry in the little pie contest?
What? Katrina? Why, she's, famous throughout the Hollow for her baking.
Yeah, most notably for her Dutch donuts. Brom Van Brunt particularly likes them. He's always lingering at the Van Tassel castle.
Well, my baking can't...
Nevertheless, I should like to taste them all. Let us hasten, ladies, before yon impending illuge imperils our little...
Of course, so tempting a morsel as Katrina Van Tassel soon found favor with Ichabod more markedly after he visited her family's spacious farmhouse. The wealthy Baltus Van Tassel and his regal wife Sophie could afford well to pamper their only child, and so, singing lessons were arranged for the lovely Katrina.
'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved.
No, Katrina. Aren't you a bit off?
Master Crane, I assure you, my daughter is 18, buxom and lovely.
Certainly, Mynheer Van Tassel, but her singing warrants correction.
Baltus, if I can sit at my spinning wheel quietly, you can permit Master Crane to continue.
Very well, Sophie. Proceed. Master Crane, but gently.
Now, Katrina, listen. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to hear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed.
Chronos, down boy, don't dwell.
Goodness! Wait until they hear us in church, Mother!
Perhaps you songbirds need a rest now.
I know I do. Where's Brum? At least he doesn't sing. All I want is loose and roost. Ugh. Back to the barn.
Loosed and roost. Is that Dutch for rest in peace?
Not quite. Papa seeks peace and quiet.
Well, they say music is the mediator between the spiritual and the sensual life. Don't you agree? Master Crane.
Wholeheartedly. So, let's eat.
Besides tea, we have a few nibbles for you.
Such comforts of the cupboard you prepared for our repast, Katrina.
Oh, but this isn't my handy...
As you can see, Master Crane, there are slices of ham, broiled shad, and roasted chicken, as well as crullers, sweet cake, shortcakes, ginger cakes, and honey cakes. Then there's pumpkin pie.
This is ambrosial. Delicious. But, Katrina, where are your famous donuts? How do you say it in Dutch? Oily...
Olie-cooks? Oh my.
Mother, we must be truthful with Master Crane.
Pardon me, truthful?
I cannot lie, Master Crane. This feast was prepared by my mother. She's a far better cook than I.
But are there none of your own Oli cooks?
There are. Here's one. I made it fresh this morning. Catch.
Kronos, on your tail again!
Perhaps every dream has a nightmare side, and so, alas, the opulent Katrina Van Tassel was inexpert homemaker. Yet, all souls have their faults, and are in need of refinement, which brings us to Sleepy Hollow's old Dutch church on a Sunday morning, just days later.
How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed.
Thank you, Master Crane, and the choir.
You are welcome, Verlisa Krunen. Amen.
As lay reader of our old Dutch church, I want to welcome Parson Hillenbrand, who traveled all the way from Hackensack. Join me now.
Thank you, or should I say, donk you.
Most Reverend Parson, our church was established in 1685 to bring the Lord's word to this savage land. And that's why the church fathers deliberately built it on ancient Indian burial grounds. Thus, the heathen soil was sanctified, cleansed by the divine spirit, and thereby the demons were exorcised.
As is entirely fitting, Vorleser Kruinen. Now, my sermon today derives from that line in Deuteronomy. In due time, their foot will slip. Ahem. Sitting in this very congregation, many of you feel that your quiet glen of Sleepy Hollow is the land of the blessed. Oh, but if you mistake this world for paradise, you've slipped. Recall that Adam and Eve were expelled from Eden, and you are far from paradise, far from heaven. Beware, brother, beware. In due time, their foot will slip. It will slip, and soon you are lost, lost to the devil, who stands ever ready to seize you as his own. His infernal region opens its mouth wide to receive you. That world of misery, that lake of burning fire, is stretched out beneath you. Why? Because your own sloth, your own preoccupation with illusion and indolence makes you heavy as lead, sinking into eternal torture. Yet, realize that nothing but the Lord's mere pleasure keeps you from being swallowed up in the everlasting destruction. And for that, we are humbly thankful.
Amen. Of course, not every day was Sunday, and all was not doom and gloom in Sleepy Hollow. Certainly not for Ichabod Crane, in fact. He had a soft and foolish heart towards the fair sex, and over several weeks Katrina Van Tassel began to double in value in his eyes, which led to boating on the nearby Tappan Zee.
Katrina, who would think such a lovely lass, had such strength and stamina?
Indeed, Icky, who?
But can I row for a while?
Don't you know I've been rowing on the Tappan Zee since I was a child?
Yet you haven't once ventured beyond Sleepy Hollow. Are you afraid of the unknown?
Afraid? Who dove under a table at the pastor's sermon?
Forgive me, Katrina, that wasn't very brave.
Oh, anyone can be brave. Mere bravery shows a lack of imagination, don't you think?
It does?
Sure. Fear requires a supple mind. Therefore, one cannot dream without risking nightmares.
Still, I suppose you admire brave men, manly men, like Brom Van Brunt.
Icky, you are the skinniest man I've ever seen. I could break you in two. Just imagine what Brom could do.
Must I?
Don't despair. There's a resonance between us. I admire you. You are the wayfaring man.
Me? All my belongings fit into a knapsack, and I lodge with different families every week.
You are a traveling gazette, bringing word of the incessant change outside Sleepy Hollow. And you have unseen qualities.
Do you believe in the unseen?
Well, I always believed in the planet Uranus, though undiscovered till recently. Just because it could not be seen with the naked eye didn't mean it wasn't out there. It took but a telescope to reveal it.
That's how I feel about the supernatural. I believe in it. I just don't require proof.
One more miraculous coincidence we share. Oh, stand ready as we approach the dock.
Stand? I dare not fall. The water witch lurks below, doesn't she?
relating to phantasms, here's where the British sloop Vulture was anchored during the war. Major Andre, the British spy, missed his rendezvous with it, and so...
He was hung. I know. Is his ghost still haunting Sleepy Hollow?
Perhaps. However, my point is that his treachery went undetected. It was unseen, but only for a time. Eventually all...
Katrina Van Tassel. Did I hear you say treachery? Treachery! Ha!
Oh no, it's Brom. He's at the dock.
Disregard him. He doesn't worry me.
You, yes, but I'm skinny.
Sightseeing, Master Crane.
That's right, Brom. And a lovely sight she is.
Witness, Brom Van Brunt. This is how your doubt defeated my love. This is what forestalled our future. Your fear that there was none.
Oh, but my fears are justified. See?
I see that my optimism cannot overcome your pessimism. We're docking now. Be gone.
You heard her, Brom. Depart.
Leave off, Master Crane.
Katrina, just wait then.
Mother, come help. I can't.
Wait.
Mind your big feet, you clumsy meddler! Whoa!
Brom!
Katrina! Brom! What a disaster!
Master Crane, I will remember this.
Do, Mynheer Van Brunt.
Katrina, what are you doing? Pardon me, Master Crane.
Of course, Dame Van Tassel. Oops.
What?
Mother, no!
Ah!
Oh, dear.
Stroke, Mother! Stroke!
After this incident, tongues began to wag throughout the grove and glen, especially those tongues loosened by hard cider at the tavern. The Mynheers and their good fraus thoroughly enjoyed scandal-mongering. It proved a respite from the usual jabbering about devils and imps and such.
Did you hear? Armageddon is nigh.
Well, at least for the Van Tassels it is.
What, between Brom Van Brunt and Master Crane?
Well, Brom is a formidable rival.
And Katrina has long been the object of his uncouth gallantries.
All this proves is that Katrina Van Tassel can turn any man into jelly.
If not one of her famous Oli cooks.
Yet it is unnatural how beautiful Katrina is. She casts spells over men.
Yes, she's an enchantress, that Katrina.
And leading both these fools to their doom. You watch.
A stouter man than Ichabod Crane would have shrunk from competition with Brom.
And a wiser man would have despaired.
But this is Baltus Van Tassel's fault. He's let Katrina have her way in everything.
Well, let her have her way in choosing between Master Crane and the Von Brunt Lord.
But when it's brain versus brawn, capricious maidens always choose brawn.
Yeah, and she'll come to regret it. I did.
Y'all 7 brawny children, eh?
Owing to Brainy, the schoolmaster who flogged them daily.
But Master Crane's plan for the Van Tassel farm must be to raid it like a fox.
Maybe sell off the land and head for the western frontier.
Yeah, from the moment Ichabod laid his eyes upon the Van Tassel castle, his only study has been how to gain the affections of Katrina.
Yeah, how could a penniless knave like Ichabod Crane ever win a rich girl?
Yet we all know bizarre occurrences abound.
Certainly around here. Like last night. The wailing of the women of Raven Rock.
Oh no.
Fortunately, ignorant of such gossip, Ichabod was lodging with the Van Oot family. Nightly, he sat with a child on one knee while rocking a cradle with his foot, telling nursery stories.
Then what, Master Crane? The princess went into the room with the witch and sat at the spinning wheel?
Yes, little Gert. She pricked her finger on the spindle and fell fast asleep. And magically, a forest of briars sprang up around the castle, sealing it off from the outside world, and everyone within grew sleepy and...
Now, Icky, will you have a few more dainty slapjacks? Are they all buttered and garnished with treacle? Yes, open wide, my dear.
Oh, Katrina, my lady fair, I knew it was love at first.
Bite? Well, of course, my little Icky. And do I know just what you need?
A savory sausage smothered in onions?
Nay, Why not smothered in kisses, Minar?
Oh. What? The door.
Oh no, Papa, it must be Papa. Oh, he can't find us alone, together, like this. Oh, hide, Icky, hide! Coming, Papa! Here, hide under the table, Icky. Coming, Papa! Brom Van Brunt, I told you be gone.
Katrina, I've come to apologize.
You didn't trust me. Don't try to apologize. Quit my door. I never want to see you again.
That's a lie. I'm sorry, and I've come to propose to you. One of your mother's honey cakes. May I?
Wait, propose marriage? To me? No.
Yes, because we're fated, Katrina. Mynheer.
Fated.
At least we were, until that scanty Ichabod Crane intruded.
So you fear him? As a rival?
Fear? I'll double that schoolmaster up and lay him on a shelf of his own schoolhouse.
Brom, you would do that for me?
What's that?
So you say we're fated, you and I?
Yes, because you cannot resist me, admit it.
Well, it's true. I've always felt a certain powerful attraction.
And I know just what you need. A kiss.
No, Brom. Oh no, this must be Papa. He can't find us alone. Together, not like this. Hide, Brom, hide. Coming, Papa. Here, hide, Brom, under the table, quick.
Crane? Here? Why, you...
Brom, you cad.
Hush, boys. Papa. Coming, Papa. The Horseman. No.
Master Crane, wake up. It'll be okay. The prince kisses the princess, she wakes, and they abide happily ever after. Are you all right, Master Crane? Are you?
Alas, only in fairy tales is such blissful alchemy triumphant. Sadly, Ichabod Crane's fortunes would soon take a decidedly darker but perhaps necessary turn. Saturday evening next, Ichabod was on his way to the Van Tassel's quilting frolic. A rustic party with food and dancing and plenty of socializing. In the twilight, Ichabod, not walking for once, but riding a horse, was accompanied by Dame Sibylla Van Ripper, the locale midwife and weather spy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Master Crane, that I could only provide you with my broken-down plough horse. But beware, old Gunpowder has outlived almost everything except his viciousness.
Well, thank you, Sibylla. If you can but transport me quickly past the old burial yard here, I'll be grateful.
Oh, when I see this graveyard, I recall my childhood companions who sported with me on the very sod underneath which they are now mouldering.
Mouldering? They say the Galloping Hessian is buried here. Is that true?
Yes. And so this area is said to be fraught with enchantment from the graveyard to the old Dutch church, to that bridge ahead over Willy's swamp.
Well, then old Gunpowder is much more appreciated, despite his scrawniness.
Oh, but my late husband's prize saddle lends some grandeur to your mission, no?
A fine saddle it is. I'll take good care.
Now single file across the bridge here, Master Crane.
Being on horseback, I can now make my appearance before Katrina in the true style of a knight-errant of yore.
Yes, but Brom Van Brunt will likely be attending the frolic too.
So?
Brom is an accomplished rough rider. His stallion Daredevil is a fine, spirited animal. I fear you and Gunpowder pale in comparison.
Perhaps, but Katrina lately prefers my company to Brom's. I intend to win her hand in marriage so we can pioneer together.
Oh, but Katrina Van Tassel is a country coquette. She's full of whims and caprices. You mustn't lose your head now, Master Crane.
Lose my head? Oh, to Katrina, you mean? Well, I prefer that to losing it to the Headless Horseman. You know, I've had terrible dreams of late where the Horseman seems to fancy me.
Well, maybe the Hessian desires your head, because as a schoolmaster, you're the most educated man in Sleepy Hollow.
But shouldn't the Headless seek the man with the biggest head?
And that would be Brom Van Brunt, now wouldn't it? How advantageous for you.
Yes, I suppose so, but really, what do ghosts crave from the living?
Well, I can't say. Their souls, their warmth.
Yet every man is warm. Why would the Galloping Hessian want to haunt me?
Well, you and the Headless Horseman are both foreigners into this region. Maybe the ghost isn't fond of other strangers. Oh, but I am. Your conversation is fascinating.
And I so enjoy your company, Sibylla.
Yes, but at the large tulip tree here, we must part ways, Master Crane. I'm off north to deliver a baby, although it'll be a star-crossed child if born upon this night. Imagine being born on All Hallows Eve.
'Tis autumn tide, Sibylla. We all must be born sometime. I'll put old gunpowder back in the barn when I return.
Take care now. It looks to storm tonight. Don't be out too late. Fare thee well.
At the quilting frolic, the Van Tassel's common room teemed with festivities and merrymaking. An oaken table lay covered with dishes of meat and vegetables, bottles of wine, and cakes and pies and assorted dainties. And at each platter, Ichabod paid a hearty visit.
Oh, what delights, Katrina.
Back for seconds, Icky?
Guests from all over the hollow mingled and paraded and heeded old Sophie Van Tassel's joyous advice.
Fall to and help yourselves, my friends. Enjoy!
And enjoy they did, especially the dancers. All across the floor, Ichabod and Katrina led them, cavorting and clattering about as the crowd stamped along. Well, nearly all. Brom Van Brunt, sorely smitten with love and jealousy, sat brooding in the corner, surrounded by his fellows, none of who could dance either.
Brom, look at that Ichabod Crane. He capers about like St. Vitus himself, don't he, Ulf?
Yeah, Loris. Hey, Brom, why don't you dance with Katrina?
Bah! Better to reign in hell than to serve in heaven.
Yes, but Katrina is certainly entertained by that big-footed clod.
It's a wonder he doesn't trip over her.
Perhaps that can be arranged, little Ulf. Like this!
Whoa!
Brom Van Brunt, you tripped poor Ichabod, didn't you?
Perhaps Master Crane is just clumsy.
Clumsy maybe, Brom, but at least I can dance.
Enough, gentlemen. If you cannot conduct yourselves properly, you can take your leave. Eh, Brom?
Ja, mynheer. Ja, mynheer. I'm retiring to the men's enclave. Come on, Loris. Ulf.
Icky, are you all right?
With you attending me, I am, Katrina.
That Brom has lost time and chance. With me! Do you see how he escaped to the men's circle? They sit and drink, smoking their pipes and telling war stories and spooky tales. Bah, Brom needs to be taught a lesson.
Well, I am a schoolmaster, you know. Perhaps I can do battle with Brom in a different arena. I speak rather well.
That's the spirit, Icky. Here, swallow a mighty draught of Dutch courage and sally forth.
Sufficiently fortified, Ichabod joined the menfolk in the parlor. They were swapping fearful tales of midnight murder, funeral trains, and demon rites. Hans Varkenweiser was just reaching the climax of his dreadful saga.
And suddenly, the creature was in his room. Dry earth rattled on the floor, and in a low, cracked voice it whispered, "Where is it?" Right at his ear. Then, who got my golden arm? Who got my golden arm? Then the creature whipped round, raised its arms, and said, "You've got it."
Poor Ulf. I suppose you haven't heard that one before.
No, Mynheer Van Tassel. And by the sight of him, Master Crane hasn't either.
I admit, yes, that was bracing. But gentlemen, is there any recent spiel to tell? Something local?
Old Brower just last month said he encountered the galloping Hessian. Am I right, Wachenweiser?
Yeah, old Brower says he met the Horseman, who was returning from his midnight foray into Sleepy Hollow. The Hessian obliged Brower to get up behind him on his fiendish horse. Together, they galloped over bush and brake, over hill and marsh, until, just as they reached the bridge over Wiley Swamp, the Horseman suddenly turned into a skeleton and spurring away over the sea troughs with a clap of thunder.
You know, mynheers, in Cotton Mather's A History of New England Witchcraft, there's a similar tale of...
Cotton Mather? Oh, we know all those stories already, eh, Brom?
I do, Loris. Can Master Crane perhaps relate one of his own experiences with the sinister forces here in the Hollow?
Yeah, Ichabod. My daughter says you're awash in fantastical stories. Proceed.
Okay, well, a month ago, I was out walking at midnight. Oh, how often did I quake with curdling awe at the sound of my own steps beneath my feet.
Yeah, I know that feeling well.
And I dreaded looking over my shoulder, lest I behold some uncouth being trampling close behind me. But anon, I heard a voice entreating me to follow. This creature had a rope round his neck.
Major Andre's ghost! He saw Major Andre's ghost!
Yes, Ulf, it could have been. Well, that voice led me to a clearing, and just as the moon had grown old, I beheld a phantom throng, creatures with large heads and shrunken bodies.
I've heard tell of that Catskill gnome liquor causing such a transformation.
But I fled ere they discover and sacrifice me to their heathen idol.
A wise choice, Master Crane.
I'm glad you agree, Brom. So, in the moonstruck air, I followed the voice to an old, goblin-looking mill in the remote part of the hollow.
Carl's Mill, the haunted mill, yes.
That very one, Loris. I ventured inside, but no sooner had I entered when I could hear, in the distance, the infernal galloping of...
The Headless Horseman.
Yes, mynheer. I looked for a place to hide and climbed inside the vat, pulling the wooden lid over me, and suddenly...
Hold there. Vat? Vat? There's no vat at Carl's Mill. It was torn out years ago.
Brom's right. See here, Master Crane. What deception are you foisting upon us?
Deception? Not at all.
I think his story is mere fabrication.
No doubt, due to an insidious devotion to keg and flagon.
Brom, you have a wicked look upon you. Can you top Master Crane's made-up adventure with the Horseman?
I can, Mynheer Van Tassel. Friends, we all know the Headless Horseman has been heard patrolling the country roads frequently of late.
True, I've heard him many an eve.
Well, I was riding one evening a fortnight ago, returning from Tarrytown when I was overtaken by the ghostly trooper. Now, I've never feared a living man, so why would I fear the dead?
What did you do, Brom? Run?
Hardly. I offered to race with him for a bowl of punch.
You would, Brom.
And I should have won it too, for my steed, Daredevil, beat that goblin horse readily. But just as we came to the bridge leading to the old Dutch church, the Hessian bolted and vanished in a flash of fire. And every word is true.
That was wondrous, Brom. Well told.
And with that, Ichabod Crane was soundly vanquished by Brom Van Brunt, whose horsemanship, even second-hand, triumphed. As the revel gradually broke up, Ichabod lingered behind as country lovers do to speak with Katrina. What passed at this interview, I do not know. Something, however, must have gone wrong, for he departed quite desolate and crestfallen. As Ichabod traveled back to the Van Ripper farm, he and old Gunpowder now plodded solemnly along the roads he had traversed so cheerily in the afternoon. Now, however, it was near midnight. Reflecting, Ichabod's curiosity was deepened instead of satisfied.
Well, old Gunpowder, what a sad catastrophe my career has become. Repelled at the Van Tassel's castle, a castle of indolence. Funny, but James Thompson's poem comes to mind. Lend an ear, my faithful steed. Let's see, how does it go? A pleasing land of drowsy head it was, of dreams that wave before the half-shut eye, and of gay castles in the clouds that pass, forever flushing round a summer sky. Alas, but not for me.
However, Ichabod was soon disturbed in his midnight reverie. A cold green light was quivering over the marsh, and then it happened.
Rain. I would have to say, clouds forever flushing, wouldn't I? Get along there, old Gunpowder. We don't want to catch our death in this dismal rain.
The two paced along, but soon approached the place where the scenes of the ghost stories had been laid. And it was the very witching time of night.
Say, Gunpowder, is that tree ahead? Isn't that the tulip tree where Major Andre was captured and hung?
As Ichabod approached the fearful tree, he tried to whistle to bolster himself. And about 200 yards ahead lay the haunted bridge over Wiley Swamp. Fearful are all who cross it alone after dark, and doubly so on this Hallows Eve. For it was the 13 years from when the galloping Hessian had lost his life and head.
What? You stop now? Here? No, giddy up, Gunpowder. We must get... Wait. Who goes there? Who?
In the dark shadow of the grove, he beheld something huge, misshapen, black and towering. It stirred not, but seemed gathered up in the gloom like some gigantic monster ready to spring upon the traveler.
Are you the Headless Horseman? Let me pass. I shall not trouble you. I'm a God-fearing school.
The figure appeared headless, yet nay, not entirely headless, for the head which should have rested upon his shoulders was carried on the pommel of his saddle.
Giddy up, Gunpowder, now!
The horses rushed off madly, old Gunpowder zigzagging right to left, followed by the goblin steed, a giant horse with fiery eyes and smoking nostrils.
Come on, Gunpowder, go! Come on!
Just as Ichabod approached the bridge, the girths of his saddle gave way and slipped from under him.
Oh, hot saddle, no!
Ahead, an opening in the trees, the church bridge was at hand.
The bridge, where the horseman disappeared in his race with Brom. If I can reach the bridge, I'm safe.
Old Gunpowder clambered over the planks. Ichabod looked behind. His pursuer should vanish in a flash of fire and brimstone. But no.
It pursues me still.
Just then, he saw the goblin steed rising in his stirrups and hurl his head. No! Sunday morning dawned at the Van Ripper farm, but Ichabod did not make his appearance at breakfast, nor at church. Dinner hour came, but no Ichabod. Sibylla Van Ripper felt some uneasiness about the fate of Master Crane and her late husband's prize saddle. An inquiry came upon Ichabod's traces. This, of course, fostered much discussion among the townsfolk.
Mynheer, in the road leading to the church, they found old Hans Van Rippel's saddle, all trampled in the dirt.
Yeah, and the tracks of the horse's hooves were traced just up to the bridge.
No further?
No further.
Maybe the galloping Hessian found the heavy sought. You know, near the bridge, he found Master Crane's hat.
And close beside the hat, a spattered pumpkin. But no Ichabod.
This may be some rusted prank by Brom Van Brunt and his fellows.
Perhaps Master Crane fled due to his failure at romance with the Van Tassel girl.
The brook was searched, but the body of the schoolmaster was not found. It may have been magic or mischief at root, but after this ghostly adventure, neither Master Crane nor the Headless Horseman was ever seen again in the vicinity. Perhaps the spell of Sleepy Hollow was now broken. As for Katrina Van Tassel, it wasn't too long before Brom conducted her to the altar, in accordance with her father's wishes. Thus, Brom conquered. Yet he was finally conquered himself. Like a heroic spider, he unwittingly ensnared a hornet to his immortal glory. Perhaps but to utter the ruin of his web, Katrina's inexpert homemaking made him daily regret ever winning her hand.
Oh, Katrina! You burned the dinner? Again?
What? Don't you like it? Brom Van Burnt.
That's Van Brunt. Van Brunt! Oh.
Over the years, there were reports by travelers that Ichabod Crane was alive, relocated to other environments, that he had kept doing school and studied law, turned politician, or he was made a justice of the 10-pound court. The old country wives, however, believed that Ichabod was spirited away by supernatural means, so that the legend of the Headless Horseman of Sleepy Hollow remains a favorite story often told round a crackling fire. The rest is mystery.